Welcome back. Brighten Up Sunshine. Every day is a new beginning here. And today I want to talk about the actual power of some simple living. Let's see if we can position this, and hopefully this will bring you guys some value. So we're going to explore how to live a simple life and how we can actually find peace even in the uncertainty that this world has to offer us. Life can often feel like it's a whirlwind, but within every storm, there is a calm center. So let's talk about that and uncover how to find peace by simplifying our lives. Imagine this. There's a man who spends years climbing a mountain, believing the peak will bring him happiness. But when he actually gets there, he realizes he missed the beauty of the journey. He missed the streams. He missed the sunrises. He missed the companionship. He missed actually making meaningful connections with people. Life is a lot like that mountain. If we focus on what truly matters along the way, we will find peace, even when the path is uncertain. So, let's embark on this journey together as we discover what it means to live a life more simple. Simplicity first, we have to understand why it matters, especially in an uncertain world. See, complexity actually creates anxiety. And every decision that we make drains our mental energy. Simplifying our lives is going to help us reclaim clarity and reclaim focus. See, there was a woman working 2 jobs. She was juggling family responsibilities, but she found peace by decluttering, just simply decluttering her commitments, focusing on only those things that added value to her and aligned with her values. We can learn a lot from that. We have to learn to live more simple lives and declutter more. There's this illusion of control. We chase security by adding layers and layers and more layers to our lives. We need to have more work, more money, more savings, more, just in case. But simplicity teaches us that true control comes from within us, not outside us. Learning how to live more in the moment, in the now, right now, just focusing on simple things like your breath, the ground beneath your feet, the rise and fall of each breath. Those things are true control that we can focus on. And then we have to also look at scriptural insight. Ecclesiastes 4:6 says, "Better one handful with tranquility than 2 handfuls with toil and chasing after the wind." This actually reminds us that striving for more often robs us of what we already have. It often robs us of peace when we strive to just have more. Consume. There are practical steps that we can take to simplify our lives. We could start by simply cleaning out a closet. I know it sounds simple, but it's not. It's hard. Try to do it. Declutter your physical space. Start small. Choose one room or area. And then ask yourself this question. Does this thing add value to my life? Or is it sucking value from me? Is it sucking my time to maintain it? What's the rate of return for the things that I have? We have to start looking at life like that so that we can declutter. A family that downsizes their possessions can often find more joy in having less to manage and more time for each other and for just like things that they want to do. A lot of times we think that we own our stuff, but our stuff actually ends up owning us. We have more to clean, more to manage, more to take care of, and we have to get up and constantly struggle to take care of all the things that we own. Or even more is I've heard stories where people are living in almost tiny homes or RVs. And then because they've got so much stuff, they have to rent a storage space to handle all their stuff. And they don't even know what's in this stuff. Like they have no idea. There's just boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff. And before you know it, we've just become consumers, gathering more and more stuff. We can actually start another practical way to simplify our life is to simplify your digital life. And how could you do this? Well, you can unsubscribe from unnecessary emails. I don't know if you guys ever get those notifications that you're running out of storage space, but I have. You can set designated times to check social media. That's hard. That's really hard. Try that because you'll realize that even the pull social media has on you is kind of crazy. How many hours a day do you spend online? I think I read in the United States, it's about 7 hours a day we spend online. And then you have to ask yourself, what do I gain from it? You could unsubscribe to channels that don't add value to your life, and you could subscribe to ones that do, whatever that is. We all have free will and choice. We could watch more news or we could watch more positive things because there's both out there, believe it or not. It's just one we're being fed a lot more. So you could use the on-screen rule, which is focus on one task or app at a time, because we've become so consumerism and materialistic that, and guys, I'm not just telling you, I'm preaching to myself here. We cannot seem to operate online with just one thing open. We have to have it across the whole thing. Our brains are just so scattered and defragmented. We can't clearly think because there's just so much stuff everywhere, digital, physical, everywhere. We have to refine our priorities. You could write down your top 5 values and eliminate activities that don't align with them. You could go and look at other videos on values and how to find your top 5 values. You could reflect. You could ask yourself, if today were your last day, what would truly matter today? Would it be checking social media sites? I'm wondering. Thinking about life like that might have us answering differently. We could practice minimal habits. Try the 1 in and 1 out rule. For every new item you bring in your life, you have to let go of 1. Or if you're over-consumed all those years, maybe for every 1 new item you bring in, you have to let go of 2. You could simplify your meals with meal planning and batch cooking. You could establish daily routines and rituals for peace, like maybe just gratitude journaling. Spending 5 minutes, set your timer. Bet you can't do it for 30 days. Challenge you. Spend 5 minutes, give yourself 5 minutes to write down 3 things you're thankful for. If you get it done before 3 minutes, then you don't have to keep going. You could wind down and turn off devices an hour before bed or reflect on your day. Finding peace in uncertainty, the power of faith. You could trust in God's peace that he gives that passeth all understanding. We read in Proverbs 3:5-6 that says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding. So we could spend some personal reflection time, thinking on times when something unexpectedly turned out to be a blessing. We could actually personal reflect and spend some time just thinking about how we feel about the day. We could embrace change because life is unpredictable, but uncertainty is where growth happens. Now, we could practice letting go. You could create a worry box, for example. Write down your worries and place them in the box, and then pray over them and let God handle the rest. But then you kind of learn to cast your care on him because we're not made to carry all the worry. You could build a support system. Lean on trusting friends, family, or faith community where you share your burdens. And you could plan a weekly check-in with someone who uplifts you. or listen to positive podcasts. Mindfulness in action. Pay attention to simple pleasures like the smell of coffee, the sound of birds. You could practice the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding. This is just you identify 5 things you see, 4 things you feel, 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell, and 1 thing you taste. And when you do that, you're actually grounding and you don't realize it. It's bringing your awareness to the now moment. So you can embrace contentment with gratitude, like we said, but this is so important. There's been so many podcasts and things I've listened to about the power of gratitude. It seems so simple, but what it actually does is it changes the way our brains are wired, where we actually start looking for, how do I say this? If there's a lot of crap around, we start looking for the pony. I think that's how I would say it. So our contentment, which is what we're talking about today, and simplifying our lives, that's a choice. We can read in Philippians 4:11, it says, I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. So reflect on areas where you felt discontentment and then ask, what blessing am I overlooking? So again, it's training that brain to look for the good stuff, even in the midst of chaos that we can't often control. We could learn about the locus of control and how to do that, which is just take a piece of paper, fold it in half. And on one half, you write all this stuff that you might be worried about, but's out of your control. Like, for example, the weather. And on the other half, we write what's in our control and what we could do about it. And then we pick some things from the in our control and start focusing on those one at a time. Because what that does is actually makes us feel more empowered and less out of control. So let's take the weather example. The weather is out of my control. But in my locus of control is, can I get some bread and can I get some milk from the store? Can I have a backup plan if electric goes out? Can I have a emergency blanket in the car if I have to travel, just in case, and a bottle of water? That way, we're actually focusing on stuff we can do something about. And you can learn more about that just by Googling and understanding the locus of control. We could celebrate simplicity. We could host unplugged evenings with loved ones where there's no devices, just connection. We could find joy in making something simple like baking bread, painting, or when it gets warmer, gardening. Or we could actually start some seeds inside. So another very important thing, we could break free from comparison. See, social media often fuels envy. So we could limit our exposure on the things that make us feel less and focus on our own path. Again, back to that locus of control. See, we could serve others, because helping others actually redirects the focus from our own worries to the joy of giving. You could do this just by volunteering somewhere, or you could do it by, well, I'm sure there's lots of needs out there of people that you know personally that maybe you could do it anonymously so the ego don't get involved. So, living a simple life in an uncertain world is not about escaping challenges. It's about facing them with peace and with clarity. And starting where you are, starting small right now, today. Declutter one area. Take a 5-minute gratitude break. Spend 10 minutes in prayer. Commit to practicing new habits this week, because this brings simplicity and peace. Do your own version of locus of control, because everything that we do, if we are consistently doing it, we're going to get better and better and better and find out more and more and more. This is what living a simple life is like. We should strive to just do better and be more thankful for what we have. The world will always be uncertain, guys. There's no way to make it certain. But within us lies the power to choose simplicity, to choose faith, to choose gratitude, to choose to look for the pony in the midst of all the